Hi everyone. We're going to go over the new format for NJSLA testing that we're going to be having in the math form, all about math. So you're going to get to a screen that looks like this. Just know that this is what we feel is it's going to look like. There's a chance that there could be some format changes. But this is just the gist of it, what they're showing us from the teacher format. So you're going to assign your name, your username. We will probably give you the username. We're going to continue as guest for now. There's going to be a session ID. This is going to be given to you by the teacher you're working with. It's really your homeroom teacher or whoever you're going to be with for block one, who you're assigned to. And you would fill it out right here, but I'm just going to fill in as a guest session. I believe you're going to pull in sixth grade test, but I have a feeling that's all going to be there for you already. I'm going to click on the math for now. This is where you are most likely going to see that you have options of visuals for yourself. You could do text to speech. You can change the coloring. You can change the by one, closed captions. I'm just going to keep everything the way it is, and then I'm going to begin my test. So this is how it's going to look. I'm not sure if you're going to see how it says number one here. I don't know if it's going to say number two next, and then number three, and then number four. It possibly could be, but right now this is the way it's looking. They're going to give you one question per screen, and it looks like you cannot move on. So say you didn't know the answer to this question, you will not be able to go on to the next question until you answer it. If I click the arrow, it says you must answer all questions on this page before moving to the next page. You may have to scroll down to see all the questions, which means you may have answered part of it, and maybe there's another portion you forgot to answer. Questions that still require an answer is for number one. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to answer this question, and then I'm going to move on. What I would do, just like big ideas, I would always hit save. We know how well technology is going sometimes, so maybe your Chromebook wasn't fully charged. Maybe the Chromebook takes you out of the program, so always save your questions after each one that you answer. Say we don't know the answer to this question. I'm just going to pick any answer. I didn't even read the question. What I would do, because you can't move on unless you answer it, I would click right here, and then it says mark for review. So I would click mark for review, and if you notice, there's like a flag that's right next to it. So that tells you that you answered it, but you are not sure if that's actually the answer you want to keep. I'm going to hit save, then go on to the next question. And then I'm going to stop here for a second, and I'm going to show you how you can see where all the questions are. So if you click where it says items and that drop down comes up, you're going to see all the questions that you got to. And this one has no symbol, which means you're good, you answered it, you're confident that that's the answer that you want it to be. This with the flag means you answered it, but you flagged it because you don't think that that's the answer that you want it to end up being. And then this question has an orange triangle. Orange triangle is telling you, and they have you a symbol. It says this symbol indicates unanswered items. So if you see any questions with a flag next to it or an orange triangle, you must go back to it before the end of the class session, because when you come back to it tomorrow, you are not allowed to go back to the questions from yesterday. All right, so make sure you answer all the questions that are flagged or have orange triangles, so that you make sure you answered all the questions that you opened that particular day. All right. Going back over here, you're going to be given a reference sheet. So if you click that XY squared, you're going to come up and a reference sheet will appear. If you notice, it has a little a bar down here that you can go, it won't move because of this, but you can go left or right. You might have a bar right here to go up or down. Depending on your grade level, there's a possibility that you might have more reference information for you. You can make it larger by clicking that, all right, or you can exit out. And then you also have a line reader, which can actually highlight what you want to work with. You also have a zoom out and a zoom in. And then you also have a pause button if you need to pause it. I'm going to get to a question where, oh, you have to answer the question. I'm going to actually just get to a question where there's multiple choice. I'm going to put any answer in right now to keep moving. Where was there a multiple choice? I think it was number 1. So going back to this question, you can do the strike through, and you can just strike through any answers that you feel are not, you definitely know are not an answer. All right. And then going back to questions where you have to fill in an answer, if by chance you thought that the answer was a fraction, and the fraction, I'm actually trying to press the fraction line right now, the slash, and it's not working, that means that the form that they're looking for is not a fraction form. So it has nothing to do with the technology not working. It just has to do that the function, the format that they want is not the format you're trying to put it in. So if you're trying to put in a decimal and they don't want a decimal, then, and the decimal's not working, then that means that they don't want a decimal form. All right, so that's it for that portion. I'm going to keep moving on. If I go, I'm going to have to keep going, and I apologize. I'm just going to do it quickly. I just have to get to number 13, but I just have to put all the answers in real quick until I get to number 13. Okay, so now we're going to get to a part where we're going to get to the final part of non-calculator. So you have reached the end of this segment, and this is where, if you notice, one of them is flagged. So if you want to go back to that question, you can click that question, and it goes right back to that question so you can answer it. If you notice that some of it says there's an orange triangle, then you know that you need to go back to those as well, because that means you didn't answer it at all. But if you're done with it and you feel you're good, click review. If you're good here and say you really don't understand it, it's okay. So then you're going to click the next button. And now you're going to get to the calculator portion, which now the calculator function comes and appears. So here's your two options. You have Desmo's basic calculator. All right. And then you also, if you bring the back arrow, you have a basic calculator. So you have 2 options to use of your different calculators that you have. All right. And then your teacher should show, it's very similar to Big Ideas. You can add a point anywhere you want. You can connect lines by connecting and clicking the connect line. And then you can delete. You can click the arrow so that you can extend it more, or just delete, and it'll delete the functions that you want. Okay. I think that's really it for what I wanted to show you. I hope this helps. Have a great day and good luck.